Hey guys, you know these new campers, I say new, I don't know, within the last 10, 15 years, whatever, these fiberglass shell campers on an aluminum frame, they got a lot of advantages as far as weight and also insulation. You know, they hold heat better, air conditioning better, those kind of things. But they can be pretty tough compared to a wood frame aluminum shell camper when it comes to repairing a ding in it, a hole in it, or whatever. We knocked a hole in ours one night when we were backing up, and we had a little accident there. So we hurried up and put some goop on it there, some silicone, GE silicone, and went on about our way. There was really no major damage done other than what you see there. And so this video is about fixing it. So here we go. Right there where I'm pointing is just about the other side of where it came through the wall. It didn't come all the way through that wall. It just kind of creased it a little bit, and I'll show you that when we open up the outside and take a look at it. So the first thing we did was remove our temporary patch there and just scraped all of that silicone away from there and opened things up, get in there and kind of make a semi-round hole, get the damaged part out of there and see what we got. And this is fiberglass. We used an epoxy. I used the West Marines epoxy, which is an excellent product. You can buy little kits for about 38 bucks is all you really need to do this entire job here. You know, you take this thing to an RV repair, they're talking like $2,000 and stuff like that. We even did the paint job on it, which we'll show you here after a while, which came out pretty good. And this kind of give you an idea the actual damage. It just poked a little hole right there, kind of pushed in the fiberglass. I just decided to stop. I didn't hear my wife saying anything, and I knew that tree was back there, but I didn't know how far, so I decided to stop to go take a look, and the damage was already done. But anyway, that's what we're looking at there. And you know, it's not too bad, but we're going to go ahead and open that hole up, as you'll see here in a minute, where we can get a good layer of fiberglass on that thing. But those are the little packets in there. I think they give you 8 of those, and you just clip the top of it off, and you got an epoxy on the left side and you got the hardener on the right side. So it's all set up with the proper proportions and everything. You just really can't go wrong with that. So that's our working area there. You can see the back of the shower there. That's a little hole that I made to make sure that it wasn't pushing on that shower. Put some Bondo in there and covered that up, and we're good to go there. So the next thing we did was just make us a backing so that we'd have something to work against, and that black stuff is just some magic marker. The next thing we did was mix up a little batch of epoxy and seal that back plate in, I'm calling it, seal that up real good so that there was no way water could leak through there or anything. And also, but the main purpose of that is to give us something to build a foundation. That's our foundation for the epoxy and fiberglass cloth that we're going to put in there to build that up. It's actually going to end up, I think, stronger than it was before, but that's me bragging a little bit. Then we built up that area with 4 layers of cloth and resin, starting with the biggest one first and then coming out progressively smaller. That's a 12-to-1 ratio. In other words, if the fiberglass is 1/8 of an inch thick, then you would bevel your fiberglass area around that to 12 times 1/8, which would be 1.5 inches in this case. And that gives you enough area to be able to build a good solid foundation. I decided to add one more piece on the top of that cured piece, just going on the principle that too strong never failed, and I think it worked out well. Gave us a little more thickness there in the center. So there I am, just kind of taking the high spots off and getting ready to do our finishing work and painting and whatnot. But that stuff is hard as a rock, and it really bonds well. Keep everything clean. Use acetone to clean the surface if you need to, and that sort of thing. But that West Marine product is really good. So there it is, and you can see the hole where we covered it up. We haven't painted it yet. We just finished it off and worked it with some fine sandpaper and getting ready to do the final touches on it. You can just barely see through there and see where the hole was at. So I took it over to a place here in Lafayette called Custom Color, and they shot it with their camera to match the paint. You got the actual paint in those cans there. There's a primer. That's $54 worth of stuff there. There's a primer there, which I just got from Lowe's, and put that on first. And then the paint is next to it, that Gin Star can, the middle one. And they actually can put it in an aerosol can like that. So it works out really good, because you don't need to have a spray gun and everything all out and that kind of stuff. And then the clear coat is in the big can, and you just put several layers until you're happy with it, and buff it down and shine it up, and you're good to go. Okay guys, so this is the finished product. You can see, in fact you can't see at all where we worked on it. I could not tell at all. We've got a little bit of cleanup work to do under the lights and stuff, but I mean basically we're done. It's a simple process. Fix the hole with the epoxy, put your primer on, and it's a sanding primer, so you can put several coats, covers up any little defects or anything, and then you put the paint that's been matched to the color of your camper, and then you put your clear coat on, several clear coats, and buff it out. We hadn't buffed this side yet. Did some buffing here, right in the area where we worked on it. But I tell you what, there's no way you can tell this camper's had a hole in it now. So we're pretty happy with our progress on it. Although I don't want to have to do it again. But anyway, I wouldn't be afraid to tackle it. The main thing is cover it up if you do get a hole in it. Be sure and cover it up so that you don't get water in between the fiberglass and the inner shell there, because then you're going to have delamination problems, and you don't want that. So anyway, that's a quick overview of our whole process here. Thanks for watching, and adios.